Hello adult and teen basic students, welcome back to week 4 of our at-home classes. Today we're going to get warmed up with some stances, but first let's bow in. Let's make one hand a fist, one hand a palm. So let's review all of our stances so far. We have our horse stance, we have our toes forward, or better yet a little in, back straight, hands are up, and we're going to bend our knees. This is our horse stance. Good, relax. Next one is our bow stance. We're going to step forward. We're going to have our toes facing that diagonal, and then you can put your hands up in guard or at your waist, and you're going to bend forward. Make sure with this one, your knee wants to be protecting your groin. If your toes are forward, now your groin is open. You want to turn your toes in. All right, so they're both facing that 45. Good? From here, we also have our crane stance. So we can have one leg up. Good, you can switch legs, make sure those toes are pointed down. It's very easy to forget about your toes and have them look like this. But we want to be conscious about pointing our toes down. Good. And then next one, we have our drop stance. Your drop stance looks like this. You can have your hands on your waist. You can put them out like this. Good. And then we have our cat stance that we just learned last week. So your cat stance, same idea with the bow stance regarding your toes, both facing 145, not 145, but one corner or 45-degree angle, kind of like this. Okay? So I want to challenge you guys to try to put these stances into your own order. Okay? And this is almost like shadow boxing, if you're familiar with boxing terminology at all. Shadow boxing is when you practice your techniques that you know in the air without anyone holding mitts or without another opponent in front of you. That's called shadow boxing. This is almost like shadow boxing, but with your stances. You're taking the stances that you know, you're putting them in your own order. So I'll give you an order first, like my own kind of shadow boxing, so you can mimic mine first, and then over time you'll be able to do your own. And if you feel comfortable, you can always pause this video and try out your own combos with these stances. So also a general tip would just be to make sure you're not going to run into anything. Make sure you have plenty of room. If not, then you can always go cat stance, crane stance, step back to horse stance, bow stance, then maybe your drop stance. Almost forgot about that one. And notice I just used the space from here to here. That's it, just going forward and backwards. So if you can, let's do another combo. So you're going to take these stances, put them in my own order. I'm going to start in a cat stance. Then push to bow, crane stance, horse stance, drop stance. You can keep going, bow stance, cat stance, crane, backwards bow, step forward, horse stance, crane stance, and relax. So I love this. I love taking techniques that I know and being creative with it. So if you're that type of person that loves being creative, pause this video, have some fun with just flowing these stances together. The hardest part is making sure your technique is correct with each stance, especially with something like the horse stance. So remember, your toes want to be in with a horse stance. So if I'm stepping forward, it's very easy to horse stance and my toes be out. So when you're stepping into something like a horse stance, you want to drive your heel forward this way. You let your heel go forward. That way, you know you're going to have that solid stance, okay, with correct technique. If you're not a very creative person, like I said, rewind this video, do the one I did in place, or try to do the one that I did going from one end of the floor to the other end of the floor. And then an extra step, if you want to make it even more complicated, you can add some hand techniques. So remember, we got some palm strikes, we have punches, we have hook hands. What else do we have? We have thread palms. So outside blocks, I almost forgot about that one. So you can take all of those and put them in your own combo. But still, the main focus wants to be your stances. So if I'm starting in something like this, my bow stance, going from one end of the floor to the other, I can go. Oh, you can't even see me in that last move. I did a bow stance punch. So just adding those techniques that I already know to stances that we're focusing on. All right, so that concludes our warm-up. That was a fun little warm-up. Now we're gonna go over our line kicks. So we have 4 basic line kicks. There's a 5th one actually, but we'll show you that one down the road. The first one is your front swing kick. So we can start doing a dirty front swing kick, and then we'll clean it up over time. Your clean front swing kick looks like that. But let's just do the legs first. Excuse me about that. We're gonna take our back leg, and we're gonna swing in front, keeping our knees straight and flexing just our toes. So we go this way. If I'm facing this way, you can see my knees straight, and I'm flexing my toes. So you can try that 10 times on one side, and then try the other side. A lot of people make a common mistake of bending their leg first and then kicking it straight. It's not a swing kick, all right? You wanna start with your leg straight and kick as high as you can. The goal is to kick your forehead, okay? Now, if you're kicking above your forehead and you're thinking, oh man, I'm the man, look at me. I'm kicking above my forehead. It's probably because you're breaking posture. So you wanna have clean lines. You wanna have clean lines with your back. We call it having good posture. Clean lines with your legs by having straight knees, and clean lines with your arms by locking those elbows out straight, okay? Having those clean lines is what's gonna make this look impressive. If you kick above your head and you break those lines like this, now it's an ugly kick, okay? I would rather see a perfectly clean front swing kick to the waist than an ugly one above the head, okay? Now, once you have that clean technique, you can kick this way, and you can start kicking higher. Be my guest, go for it. Try to kick your forehead, okay? I know mine always kind of like, it touches my hair just a little bit. So, now let's focus on what makes a clean front swing kick a clean front swing kick. I want you to start with your feet together, back straight, and you want your shoulders to go backwards. You don't want them to go super far back, just a little bit back. Your stomach's in, chest is out, your hands are gonna push out, and you want your fingers to face the ceiling, okay? Good, from here we're gonna step out, and now we're familiar with this position. I'm gonna take my back leg and swing it up as high as I can, while keeping everything straight. If you have room, take another step with the leg you just kicked with. And we recognize this position too. We're gonna kick that back leg up, and relax. If you have room, you can go straight down a line. Try to do 4 of them. If not, do a kick, step back, do it again. Cool. Let's do 2 more. Ready? Step, kick. Reset if you have to. And step, kick. Good, and down. Next one we're gonna go over is our front toe tap. So with your front toe tap, it's very similar to the front swing kick, but we're gonna make a sound. Your front toe tap looks and sounds like this, okay? It's called a toe tap, but we're not actually gonna hit our toes. If we hit our toes, then it's gonna make this sound. And that was lame, that was very quiet. So we actually wanna, it kinda hurt my toes a little bit too. So we wanna point our toes and slap our shoelaces. Or if you don't have shoes with shoelaces, then just that bone on top of your foot, right there, okay? Some people, if flexibility is a struggle for them, they'll slap their shins or their ankle. Now, you'll still get a kind of loud sound, but you're cheating the movement. There's no getting around it. So if this is gonna be hard for you, then let this be an encouragement to keep practicing those stretches. So after this class, we won't have time to go over it today, but we'll stretch out those hamstrings. Try to hold it for like 30 seconds or a minute. That's gonna elongate that hamstring, make it a lot easier for you to slap your shoelaces. So with your hands, You want to hold them, and this is my favorite form of measurement, a unicorn's horn length away. So I know it's kind of silly, but this is the reasoning behind it. You're going to take your hand, you're going to put it on your forehead like a unicorn, and then this is the exact measurement that we want you to place your other hands. So that's how far away you want your hand away from your forehead, and then your other hand can go up to meet it. If it's too close or too far, then it's just not as perfect as it can be. So some forms of front toe taps, you start with your arms totally straight, and that's correct as well. Today, we're gonna go the bent arm toe tap, okay? There's straight arm toe tap, and there's bent arm. Today we're doing bent arm. So let's try it out. Hands are up. Make sure you measure. It's okay to put your hand on your forehead at first, so you know how it feels, and then eventually over time, you won't need to measure anymore. Your hands are gonna just automatically know. So let's step forward with the left leg. We're gonna point our toes now as we swing up. Stop that leg. Good, step forward with that kicking leg, if you have room. And do the toe tap with the other leg. Good. Let's reset. Hands up. Let's step forward and kick. And step forward and kick. Good job, that's your toe tap. I know that's a fun one, but we gotta move on. Next, we're gonna do inside crescent kick. We're gonna go back to our front swing kick position. We're gonna step forward, and now my right leg, instead of just going up and down, it wants to make this crescent, okay? And I know it's kind of hard to make that crescent at first, so the first thing I just want you to think about is touching your leg to your opposite hand. So from here, I go up, and I touch my opposite hand, and I go back. I step forward with the leg that just kicked, opposite leg goes up, and touches the opposite hand. Now you're gonna find your body turning. I want you to keep it straight. Sometimes we will turn. You'll see like a performance team go kick and turn, kick and turn. That's a lot to think about for right now, so we're just staying straight. And personally, I like the look of just staying straight the whole time doing your crescent kick. From here, let's do two more. We go step, kick, and step, kick. Fight that urge to turn. Lastly, we have the outside crescent kick. So instead of hitting the opposite hand, we're gonna touch the same side hand. So this is gonna force you to open up that hip. It's really going to check your hip mobility, and it's gonna keep your hips healthy. So from here, hands are gonna be up, back straight, relax your shoulders. If you're like this, you're a little too tense. Relax, take a breath. Then from here, you step forward. Back leg's gonna go up, and now the opposite direction from the inside crescent kick, slapping the same side hand. And you can see that crescent, that circle that I'm making. Then we step forward, crescent kick. Good. It's very important that you try to just bring your foot to your hand. If you bring your hand to your foot, then you don't really make a crescent. So the more you can get your foot to move and your hand to stand still, your hand should just be doing this, the more of a crescent it's gonna be like. And let's do the other side. Good. I think I did a poor one on this one, so there it is. Okay, those are your 4 lion kicks. Next, we're gonna review our 4 blocks. Let's get back to that horse stance. We have our outside block. Make sure that hand is out on that angle. My other hand is bracing it. I have this cage of protection that Master Ron likes to call it. Let's switch sides. And switch. And switch. Good. Back to center. Let's do our high block. We're gonna go up, out. Good. You punch straight up, then pop that elbow out. Punch straight up, pop that elbow out. And you want to twist as well. I don't want to see my back shoulder in the mirror. If you have a mirror or you have a camera, video yourself. See if you can see that back shoulder. Turn that waist. Turn that shoulder. And one more. Good. Okay. I almost said lastly, we have 2 more. We have our low blocks. From here, one hand goes up to the shoulder. And same idea. I turn my shoulder so you can't see it. Then switch sides. Good. Really turn that shoulder. and go, and go. Good. That's a fun one. Feel free to pause the video and just keep working those low blocks for a little bit. If you have your sleeves rolled up, you should start to just unroll them a little bit because you're sliding and scraping down. And lastly, we have the inside block. So kind of the hardest one, but the most practical one because a lot of people are going to be throwing straight punches in for your nose. So from here, you're going to go up, wind this up to your ear, and then you chop this in front of you. You don't need to go past your face. If you go past your face, then you're leaving yourself more open. So you stay, keep that hand in front of you, and that's going to create just the amount of distance you need to knock that punch off course. So let's do it again with the other hand. Up, inside block, and switch, switch, and switch. So make sure you're breathing with every block. Let's try to put these 4 blocks together. Ready? Hands up. We have out 1, and 2, 3. Let me hear that power. Breathe out. And 4. High block 1. Good. So I'm already facing this way, so I don't need to turn anymore. Then 2, 3, 4. Good. Low block. And 1. Good. So turn. Don't see that shoulder. 2, 3, 4. Good. And from here, 5. Inside block. Wind up. 2, 3, 4. Up and relax. Good. Shake it out. So if one day you just want to focus on line kicks, another day you just focus on blocks, go for it. If both days you want to practice, if every day you want to practice both techniques, go for it. You're going to get that much better, that much faster. So lastly, we're going to go over our form today. We're going to go over all 3 sections. So we're starting from our focus stance. First move, we have our chamber. We look to the left. Right when you look, you want to change that attitude. You want to put on your warrior face. Someone is trying to attack you. So we have to be aggressive. We have to protect ourselves. From here, 1, chamber. Good. 2, we step out into this horse stance. We outside block. Now, since this is in the form, we're not going to do things with the practicality as a priority. We're going to do them with the performance as the priority. These big motions are going to teach you how to move your body, and then when you have to do it in a practical setting, you just take this movement, you do it a little bit smaller. So I know before we were going like this. Now we're just, we open this hand up. This is getting ready for our punch. So next movement, we're going to step back, bow stance, punch. Good. Then from here, we do our kick punch. That's section 1. Let's do that one more time. So from here, you have chamber, look. Outside block. Step back, bow stance, punch. Then kick punch. So my left hand is punching. Right leg is kicking. Good. I'll do one facing this way so you can see. You can follow along with me. And look. Good. You should be looking at me now. 2, step out, outside block. Step off this line, bow stance punch. Take this hand, take this leg, and kick punch. Try to hold that balance. Good. And one time with me facing this way. We have this chamber, outside block, punch, kick punch. Good. From here, I'm going to take this right leg. We're going to step forward. Left hand's going to come up, high block punch. Remember, you want this hand straight as straight as you can. You want to get as low as you can. Make sure this elbow is straight. Posture wants to be straight. All these straight lines are really going to keep your body strong and healthy, and it's going to look good to everyone who's watching. So here, straight. Make sure those toes are turned in as well. Then right hand comes into our chamber. Left hand blocks down. Right hand, when you do that spear in over top, it's no longer called a spear hand, right? It's called a what? Thread palm. So here, thread palm, to get into my crane stance. Then my left hand points down, and A common mistake is people point their left hand down and then they go straight for their toes, okay? I want you to show that control. Have this hand, a good measurement to use is to go to the outside of your knee first, then out to your toes. So here, you go down, you can go to the outside of your knee, and then out. Good. That's section 2. I'm gonna do it facing this way again. From here, punch, go right knees up, left hands out. If you have that mixed up, it's gonna really throw you off for section 2. Section 2, go, high block, horse stance punch, then chamber block down, thread palm, then snake creeps down and out. Good. Left fingers pointing at the toes, right hand up, try to get your back as straight as you can. If you can only go this low, that's fine. Keep on doing your very best, and your very best is gonna get lower and lower every time. If you do this half-heartedly, then you'll get better, but a lot more slowly, okay, a lot slower. So I want you to try your best every single time. You can see me, I'm sweating, okay, and I'm teaching. So if you're training, if you're looking at this video to train, you should be sweating even more than I am. I don't recommend taking a shower yet. Maybe do this right in the morning, and just change from your pajamas to your workout clothes, go do this, and then take a shower. So let's do it one more time facing this way. Starting from this kick punch. You go high block punch. Good. Block down, thread palm, snake creeps down. Good. Section 3, push to that bow. Pivot. I know this is all new stuff. We just learned it last week. Left hand's gonna go up, hook, flash palm. Then chamber, focus stance. Very nice. Let's do it 2 more times. I'm gonna do it one more time facing this way and one time facing that way. From here, push forward to bow, pivot, cat stance, hook hand, flash palm, chamber. Make sure you're still looking over your right shoulder and focus stance. So yeah, that movement, that last movement is a lot. We're pivoting, we're shifting our weight, we're hooking a hand, we're flash palming, we're looking forward, we're keeping our balance. That's a whole lot going on. Take it as slow as you need to until it feels comfortable enough to go faster. Ready? I'm gonna do it facing this way, then we're gonna put the whole thing together. Starting from section 3, we'll push to bow, pivot, left hand comes up, hook, flash palm, chamber, focus stance. Cool. All right, now it's the moment of truth. Let's try to remember all those little details and do the whole form all at once. I'll do it one time facing you, one time facing the other direction. Ready? 1, chamber. 2, block. Punch. Good. 3, kick punch. Go right into your high block punch. Good. 4, crane stance. Then shoot down. Your drop stance. 5, push forward all the way to your cat. Chamber, focus stance. Good. So those were your 5 stances. I think the first one, I counted your chamber as 1. That is not the first stance. So believe it or not, the horse stance is actually not your first stance either. Over time, you want to try to get this so fast that you just go right into your bow stance. Okay? So that's what we're going to try this time. We're going to try to just do 5 stances because that is what the title of this form is called, the basic 5 stances form. Okay? So the stances go in the order of bow stance, horse stance, crane stance, drop stance, cat stance. Those are your 5 main stances. They're not your only stances. There's still others out there like hook stance, T stance, rest stance, a whole lot of fun ones. So we're gonna have fun. We're gonna be learning those new stances down the road, but these are your 5 fundamental ones. So we're really gonna focus on the stances this time. Ready? I'll face this way. Have them strong. If you're not sweating by now, I want you to try to sweat by the time you're done this form. Get as low as you can. Punch as strong as you can. Ready? We have our chamber. And stance 1, go block. bow stance punch. 2, kick punch, high block punch. Good, strong horse stance. Ready, 3, crane stance, hold that balance. 4, snake creeps down, fast. And 5, push forward, flash. Make sure that there's no weight on that front leg. And chamber, focus stance. And you can bow once, bow again. Excellent job. I don't know about you, but when I try my very best, I actually have the most fun. So I'm pushing my limits, I'm doing my very best. I have that, just that integrity that I know I'm doing my best. And it feels good. So if you want more details about this or more different angles, then you can check out our form video on our YouTube page. Excellent workout today, guys. We did a lot. We did our line kicks, blocks. We did stance shadow boxing. We put the whole form together. We're focusing on just those 5 fundamental stances. So I hope you guys feel good about today's workout. Keep training throughout the week, and I'm so excited to see you guys back in the Kung Fu school so I can see all the progress that you're making. Let's bow on out. Excellent job today.